Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, folks. This is the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week. If you could go out there, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and of course, drop a like on the video. This is your Bournemouth versus Liverpool preview, but we're going to talk about some other Liverpool stuff as well. Some interesting stuff today. You would have seen on the channel, if you're on, that I had dropped some shorts today. Some interesting stuff going out there. Really, really cool. Some good news for us today. Maybe a little sprinkling of bad news as well, but like to get your views on that. If you're in the chat as well, let us know what you thought about it. So we'll start off with some of the articles first, and then we'll get into the Bournemouth preview. I think the preview kind of takes care of itself somewhat, but certainly we won't be underestimating Bournemouth in any way. Certainly in the past we've done that, especially under Eddie Howe. And it hasn't worked out well for us. So really, really important that we go into that game. A lot of factors in relation to that game that we will talk about tonight. We'll give you our possible starting 11 and Bournemouth. We'll bring you up to date with team news, current form. Had a quick look at the betting, and I picked out a nice little tidy bet maybe that could earn you a few quid, and I'll let you know my prediction, of course. But let's start with some of the good news. We'll mix it up a little bit anyway. Starting off with this Colombian reporter today, insinuating basically that Luis Diaz might be even available to be in the squad for the Bournemouth game. Now, what a lift that would give the squad. Actually forgot at the start of the show, folks. I poured myself a lovely, refreshing glass of 7-Up. So I'm just going to do a little taste tester here. Oh, that's so refreshing. Started drinking 7-Up this week. It's really nice, actually. It's nice and refreshing. But yeah, let's get back to this anyway. Enough of that shithousery. But yeah, Luis Diaz, what a lift he would give the squad as well, coming back in, and the options he would give Jurgen Klopp just in time as well for the Bournemouth game, but also with some really big games coming up. Our next 3 games, I think, are Man City after that. Apart from Real Madrid, we got the Man City game. We've got Chelsea, we've got Arsenal, we've got a couple of really big games coming up now that could be decisive in terms of this top 4 race and stuff like that. But to have him back would be absolutely sensational. Now, nothing confirmed. No doubt we'll get some confirmation from the gaffer tomorrow on the presser. But we'll see what happens. But it would be sensational to have him back. Timing is key in these things all the time, isn't it? But some good news there. We'll continue with a little bit of good news. This man was on TalkSport. Our man, Razor Ruddock, Neil Ruddock. Isn't it fantastic to see this guy turning his life around and stuff like that? And he gave a big shout out to his wife on the show and stuff like that as well. But it's great to see him. Apparently, I was reading something. He's dropped something like 93 pounds and stuff like that. But great to see him back smiling again and looking like the old Razor, witty and stuff like that, and jokey and happy and stuff like that. So hats off to you, Razor. Great job. Love it. Another one I seen today. This is going to be absolutely sensational. I can't wait to watch this. Seeing a clip today of Stevie talking to Mo, and like some of the clips that are coming out are brilliant. But this one today where he was telling Mo Salah, and he kind of looked Mo in the eye. I don't know if you all seen this clip, but he looked Mo Salah in the eye and he said, cherish every moment playing. He turned around and he said, I'd love to be starting my career right now. Can you imagine if we had a midfield in there with Steven Gerrard? Imagine Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah, and all these guys playing together with Stevie's range of passing and stuff like that. Imagine a midfield of Steven Gerrard and Thiago. Good Lord. And dare I say, I'd love Alonso in there as well. But imagine that range of passing from the 3 of them, Stevie, Alonso, and Thiago. Good Lord. I don't think there'd be a better passing midfield out there. Little sprinkling of bad news. Of course, we'll take the comments first of all. Joanne, how are you? Hope to see you on the show later. I hope you have your predictions ready and stuff like that for Beat the Bookie. Just to let you know, folks, we will be back 9 o'clock Thursday, Tier Talk. We'll be previewing the Premier League action. We'll be talking about what's gone on the last couple of days. Darren will be giving us his breakdown on that 7-0 at Anfield. We'll be talking about loads of stuff, really, plenty of stuff. Spurs, the whole lot, what's going on. Arsenal losing 2-1. They're losing 2-1, Joanne. It was 1-1 when I last looked at it and stuff like that. But, Sporting are no slouches. They're a serious team. So it was a tough draw for you, in fairness. But, keep it nice and tight and see where it goes after this. We'll do my predictions after the match. Quality. And Dar is in. How are you, Dar? Hope you're all staying safe as well, folks. The weather here at the moment is absolutely crazy. Where we are is kind of more on the east coast of Ireland, so it's kind of, because I'm close to the coast, it's more sort of wet and dreary and kind of miserable. But I know inland in the Midlands, they've been getting tons and tons of snow, and they're talking about calling off schools tomorrow and all sorts of stuff going on. So please, folks, don't venture out unless you have to. It's not worth it. The last thing we want to hear is that, people losing their lives aren't like that, or getting stuck out in snow drifts and that kind of thing. It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? Snow drifts and heavy snow nearly in the middle of March. Crazy stuff. But yeah, Dar, I agree. Cheers, bud. 7-Up is a lovely drink. Dar dropped into me on Monday in work and presented me with a lovely can of 7-Up. So, yeah, absolutely great stuff there. Hope you're enjoying the shows. Sprinkling of bad news today. Like to get your thoughts on this. It's more or less nearly being confirmed by sources and stuff like that Caoimhin Kelleher is going to move on in the summer. We know he wants a lot more game time and stuff like that. And maybe he's searching maybe for a better deal financially as well. But certainly he's in heavy competition there with Gavin Bazunu in terms of the Ireland position for number one goalkeeper. And I think unless he starts getting regular football, Gavin is playing regularly with Southampton now. Who's to say Southampton will stay in the division this year? Who knows? But it's fairly clear from Caoimhin's point of view, he wants to be playing more. He's absolutely sensational anytime he's come in. When Allison has got injured, or when he's come in and played in those cups, and like, how could we forget him in the cup final and stuff like that? But any time I've seen him play for us, he's been nothing but unbelievable. And dare I say, and I'd have an argument with anyone who tells me that there's a better number 2 in the division. He's absolutely sensational. And it would be sad to see him go. But I can fully understand the reasons why he would want to go. And I think whatever club he goes to will be very, very lucky to get him. And I don't think he's going to cost a huge amount of money either, as goalkeepers go. He's absolutely sensational and well worthy of a number 1 spot in some team in the Premier League. So if he does go, best of luck to him. He's been brilliant for us as a servant. Anytime he's been called upon, he's just been electric. And how could we forget the penalty? Let's bring it back up a little bit here again. Joanne back in again. I said it, Sporting ain't no pushover. Maybe people will listen to me. Absolutely, Sporting are no pushover, and I think it'd be a foolish football fan that would disagree with you there, Joanne, or question it. £3 this week went to Slimming. Congrats, absolutely brilliant stuff there, Joanne. Fair play. And Sporting are all over us. Shocking. Yeah, tough place to go. And now 2-2 OG here. That's how it goes, isn't it? There you go. Not too bad. So let's raise the tone a little bit. Of course, we're saddened to hear. We've also heard Joel Matip is moving on as well, but I don't think that's as I think we're obviously gonna strengthen there. I think in the summer we will be talking about John Henry as well in that interview that he did. But we can't forget about Sunday, can we? I mean, we'd have to bring up something, wouldn't we? And that is this something. John Aldrich, for me, on social media, is the absolute king of shithouse. And here he is cleaning the Anfield sign where Wout Weghorst touched it on the way out. What the man was thinking the other day, I do not know. But here's Aldo cleaning the sign, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And he's an absolute, if you've ever met Aldo, he's unreal. Met him a few times. He's just a lunatic. He's just brilliant. Fantastic stuff there. So I dropped it today as well as a short, just for a bit of crack. Love doing this kind of thing. But yeah, Aldo cleaning the sign there. Fair play to you, Johnny. We've had another release of potential leak kit as well here. And if you thought the one I put up on the channel last week was bad, feast your eyes on this one. Now, normally I would turn around and go that this man is an absolute specimen and he would make any design look good. But this is woeful. And there's no more we can say about this. And like, we signed this deal with Nike, and some of these designs they're bringing out are absolutely atrocious. And this one is atrocious. I look at it and all I think of is Minecraft. It's just horrible. It doesn't look good at all. It's just, I don't know. It's for me. I don't like it. But again, let me know in the chat, folks. Let me know what you think. Um, it just doesn't seem right to me. Just feels weird as well, the pattern and everything else and all. Now, having said that, the one the other day was absolutely atrocious. It was like someone took a green jersey and took a roller with a load of white paint and just rolled up and down it like a stipple brush for the ceiling or something like that. It was crazy. Joanne reckons we will win 3-0 against Bournemouth. I would take a hand off for that right now, Joanne, if that was the case. Absolutely. Would absolutely love that. But they're just some of the points that were raised. We are going to talk about John Henry's interview the other day, where he affirmed and spoke about his commitment to Liverpool Football Club from an FSG's point of view. Again, some of this we take with a pinch of salt, but he spoke about the long-term vision of the club and stuff like that, and its competitiveness and stuff like that. But sometimes you have to deal in the now as well, John. You can't just keep on planning for 5 and 6 and 10 years down the road. Sometimes you have to look at where you are now and you have to fix up. He spoke about also responsible investment, which absolutely scared the bejesus out of me, because we've been hearing about war chests, we've been hearing about 200 million, 300 million, and I know people will turn around and tell me, listen, they've been spoofing this bullshit for 3 years now and all that kind of stuff, which they have been. But yeah, I just think it was kind of like, it was nearly like, he also kind of confirmed that the club wasn't up for sale, that they were looking for investment, but I don't believe that. Because they had put together a brochure and all this kind of thing. And I know you put them together for investment as well, but I mean, you're not bringing in the heavy hitters that they were bringing in if you're only just looking for investment. And I think obviously Man United going on sale as well kind of scupper things. Never in our lifetime would we ever see two huge global clubs and brands going out there for sale at the same time in the market. It was crazy the way it all unfolded. And I think once probably United's situation is more clarified in terms of a sale or whatever it is, I think then things will become very much clearer for us as well. I think our kind of situation is a little bit clouded at the moment because it's been overshadowed somewhat by the United sale. So it's hard to get a handle on it really. But when he spoke about that, that responsible investment, that didn't tell me Jude Bellingham. That didn't tell me big signings. That told me that there would be maybe one or two sprinkling of signings, and then we'd probably be exploring the free agent market, which is very, very worrying. And look, there's some fantastic free agents that are going to come available this summer. So, and some of them I'd gladly have at the club. But I think we need to, I suppose, be careful in the way that we react to it, but also, be careful in the way that maybe we don't react to it. But that interview the other day given to the Echo, I think it was David Pell was the guy who did the interview. I don't think, looking at it the other day, it doesn't sound like there's going to be bags and bags of money around for Liverpool to splash on players. It didn't sound like it for me anyway. Let's go, baby. How we doing, Dave? Dave's in. Del Boy is in already. Big up, Niall, and all in the chat. How are you, Del? Loved your content last week from your trip, mate. It was absolutely excellent. Give Sack a shout as well, doing a stellar job. I loved his vlogs as well. Solid stuff there. And my man is in. Dave's LFC chats. Let's go, baby. Yeah, big one on Saturday, Dave. Chance to go into the top 4, even if it's only briefly. But still, it would lay down a marker. Early game kickoff against Bournemouth and stuff like that. And we're going to get into a preview now, so going to do a little bit of a preview on that now shortly. But yeah, just wanted to get a few of those topics out of the way and stuff like that. Love the Aldo stuff. Hats off to Ruddock. Love to see Luis Diaz back in the squad. That would be exceptional. Really looking forward to the documentary with Gerrard and Mo Salah. It's amazing. I would love to see both those guys playing together. Imagine Gerrard and Mo Salah on the same team, on the same pitch. Would have been sensational. Sad news about Quavine potentially leaving. Horrible leaked images of jerseys at the moment that you normally get. And Aldo, of course, ratcheting up the shithousery, which was absolutely brilliant. Let's get into this preview. Let's talk about Bournemouth. Yeah, absolutely. Dave is talking about Bournemouth potential bananas against Saturday. Got to be ready. Absolutely. Got to go in with the same mentality. And I know it's difficult when you're at Anfield and you're up against our biggest rivals, if you like, Man United. It's easy to motivate players to get up for that game now. We would have never thought to the extent of 7-0. But we've got to be on it on Saturday. And this Bournemouth side, I know they're languishing bottom of the table and stuff like that, but it doesn't really truly reflect the football that they've played this season. Some of their football at times has been sensational. You look at the game the other day against Arsenal. Arsenal were a last gasp winner. They were absolutely blessed in the end. And obviously, Bournemouth scoring that goal, I think, after 9.1 seconds or something like that, the second fastest goal in the history of the Premier League. So they can, and they will put a game up against us, the Vitality Stadium. Lunchtime on Saturday, it's going to be absolutely rocking. Not an easy place to go. Tight pitch. So not conducive for our play either, of spreading the play and switching the ball a lot. So we're going to have to be really careful in terms of that. But we are coming in. I mean, if you look at last weekend, two of the sensational games from last weekend in the Premier League was the Bournemouth game against Arsenal. And it was kind of, when you see the way the game went and stuff like that, it was sad that Bournemouth didn't take something. Dave reckons Dave says he would take a 1-0 now. Absolutely, take a win. 3 points is what it's all about at the moment. Big game on the horizon for us as well on Wednesday against Real Madrid. So I suppose what we have to do is stay focused within the moment, and not get distracted by what's ahead in terms of Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be an interesting one, to say the least, where we hope we might be able to do something, but realistically, whether we can or not is another situation. So it's really important that we stay focused on the top four race, go to Bournemouth, start from minute one, be on it, get a few goals on the board maybe early to settle it down. We did give them an absolute pasting earlier in the season. I think it was 9-0. And nearly very close to the Premier League record and stuff like that. But I have a funny feeling this one won't be as easy. But certainly you would think that if we show up with the right mentality and the right mindset, that we should be reasonably comfortable, dare I say, without tempting fate or anything like that. So as we said, both of them, I mean, they came in off a loss. They'll be disappointed in that they played well, the Cherries. We obviously are coming in on the back of a sensational result against Man United. 7-0, 6 unanswered goals in the second half. Absolutely put them to the sword. Some will argue about it being Man United's capitulation. Some will argue about it being our very good play and press and pressure that we put on them. Somewhere in between probably lies the truth. But it was a sensational win, a huge confidence boost. It was brilliant for our goal difference as well. And now we're looking at this game at lunchtime on Saturday, potentially catapulting us into that top four spot, and putting the pressure back on Spurs, who I think play Forest that afternoon at 3 o'clock. Again, that will be a tough game. If you look at Spurs last night, they were absolutely atrocious against AC Milan. Big calls at the moment for Conte's head. Talk of Kane getting out of there in the summer yet again. Players were really, really poor. Christian Romero, shocking, sending off. Spurs are all over the place at the moment, and if there was ever a time to just nose ahead of them in that top four, now is that time to take advantage of that, because I don't think Spurs are going to have a whole lot to offer over the next 2 to 3 months in the league, to be honest. I think they're going to pitter out with all the talk of Conte going and wanting Conte out and Poch back in, and players talking about wanting Poch back in and stuff like that. It's just crazy times at Spurs at the moment. Football not befitting of such a beautiful stadium, dare I say. So let's get into where do we want to begin with this. We'll talk about team news, I suppose. Well, I suppose first of all we have to talk about Mo Salah and the form that he's in and stuff like that. And after breaking Robbie Fowler's record and stuff, absolutely sensational. So he looked back to his very best. But you could talk about all 11 players on Sunday look back to their very best and stuff like that. And can they continue it on? And these teams down near the bottom of the league have been the teams at times where we have stumbled when that door creaked open in relation to the top four. So it's really, really important that we go there in a professional manner. As Dave said in the chat, have to show up, be ready on it from minute one, no lackluster and stuff like that. And I think we will. I think at the back we're on the back of 5 clean sheets as well, in the Premier League, which is huge. So you can see there's a kind of momentum there in terms of our defensive duties and stuff like that as well. So that's really important. We have a lot of options now in midfield and stuff like that as well. And the midfield is beginning to find itself and tick. There is Harvey is finding his place now and stuff like that. Really, really important. But yeah, we go in form at the moment, of course. If you look at Bournemouth at the moment, 2 draws, a win and 3 losses. Dare I say they were hard done the last one against Arsenal and stuff like that. Very, very unlucky. What a goal by Reece Nelson. For us at the moment, it's been a loss, 4 wins and a draw. The last win, of course, the sensational 7-0 against Man United. But again, if you look at those 4 wins and the draw, all clean sheets as well. Really, really important. Team news at the moment. So Barney is going to be missing, and Tavernier and Kelly are also, they've got slim chances of being involved for Bournemouth. Could feature, but not looking likely. Vina and Brooks and Stanislas they're all out at the moment. And Lerma and Traore could feature, but they have muscle tightness at the moment. So bit of stuff there for Gary O'Neill to do in terms of Bournemouth with personnel and stuff like that. As you know, with us at the moment, Thiago Alcantara is out. We have Luis Diaz listed as being out as well, but there was talk today from Colombian reporters that he could be in the matchday squad, which would just give the whole team a massive sensational lift. And of course, Calvin Ramsey is still missing. Arthur is yet to be considered. Apparently, he is available. He is fit. He has been playing with the 23s, I think it is, and playing well apparently, but yet to be considered for first team football. Joe Gomez and Naby Keita can shake off their muscular problems potentially. But I don't see Jurgen now messing around with things too much, to be honest. I think he's starting to find a setup and a rhythm and options that I think he'll probably stick with him now till the end of the season. So I wouldn't be expecting Naby Keita to get a whole lot of time. And Joe Gomez, again, only injury based, would he be probably coming back in? Daz in there. How are you, Daz? Big up, Niall. How are you today, man? I'm doing good, man. Just the weather is crazy here a bit at the moment. Heavy rain and stuff like that, and winds, and snow in the Midlands and all that kind of stuff. But apart from that, all good, Daz. Really looking forward to the match on Saturday. And the show later at 9 o'clock Thursday. Tier Talk. We'll be talking about our bets and Premier League preview and talk about Sunday and everything that's going on in between at the moment. So if you look at the possible lineup there for Bournemouth at the moment, so you've got Neto there, Smith, Mayfam, Sensi, Stevens, Zamora, Otara, Billing, Rodwell, Traore, and Solanke. Solanke is the man for me. He's been playing really well for Bournemouth. Could have snatched the winner against Newcastle that time, but just was very, very unlucky. But Solanke's been having a pretty good season, even though it's not reflected in Bournemouth's position or results. He's been playing really, really well. And as Liverpool fans, we kind of scoffed at it when we got, I think it was 18 or 20 million from him. We're going 18, 20 million for him. It's not a bad price now when you look at the boy. He's matured into a really good footballer. For Liverpool, I don't see too many changes. You're looking at Alisson, Trent, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Elliott, Fabinho, Henderson, and Salah, Nunez, and Gakpo. Don't see there being much of a change there. I think if Bournemouth do dig in and we don't get the breakthrough early, you could see the likes of Jota being deployed from the bench. You could see Bobby being deployed from the bench just to change it up and shake it up a little bit. And dare I say, even Stefan Bietic could come in there as well. So plenty of options there for us. Kind of spoiled for choice we are a little bit now, touch wood, but all good from where we were before. Had a quick look at the betting. As always, I look at the betting odds from Boyle Sports. If you look at Bournemouth at the moment, we're 11-2. The draw is 15-4, and Liverpool are 2-5 on. Really, really short odds for an away trip. Picked out a tidy little bet there. Darwin Núñez to score first. And I'm going to go on a big one here. Dave, this one will surprise you. And Liverpool to win 4-0. That gives you 50-1. Tidy little price. $5 on that will return you 250. 4-0 win for the Reds. A clean sheet. And Darwin Núñez to get the first one. So as you can imagine, my prediction is 4-0 to the Reds. I think it'll be a big win. I think they'll carry their form now from Sunday. They will have one eye, of course, on the big one on Wednesday. But they'll be looking at that in a different kind of way. I think there might have been serious change, and I think there might have been a different approach if that game had been much tighter or a draw. But the fact that it's 5-2, it's going to be a tough one. We will be doing a preview over the weekend for the Real game. And of course, we will be back on Saturday afternoon with a match reaction as well for the Bournemouth game. Also back tonight, 9 o'clock for Thursday Tier Talk. So plenty of shows and content coming your way, folks. And every day I'm dropping shorts like a madman. Great fun doing those shorts at the moment. So I hope you're enjoying them as well. The views will tell me that you are. So keep that going. Also, let us know your predicted lineup in the chat for the Bournemouth game. Also, let us know your prediction, your scoreline prediction. We will be back at 9 o'clock, myself and Dazzler, with Thursday Tier Talk. But for now, Reds, top 4 awaits us if we can get a win at the Vitality Stadium. Hopefully, Gary O'Neill's team won't scuff for us, and hopefully, Dom Solanke won't come back to bite us. Dar says he might put that bet on. Yeah, it's just a fun bet there, really. You know what I mean? But you would think, like, you know, if we can put 7 by United, you know, if we rock up with the right attitude and stuff like that, and players playing for their position for Wednesday night, maybe in the Bernabeu, should be able to put a couple by these guys, catapult ourselves into top 4, and then spend the afternoon cheering on Forest, who are playing Spurs. Newcastle, I think, don't play till Sunday. Until next time, folks, keep the faith. This is the Reds. This is the Shankly session. You will never walk alone. Top 4 Reds incoming this Saturday, I think. Let's do this.